Hello, warm greetings, your Queen Uncle here. Today, Suman Malagkit will be sharing or showcasing our Pinoy food to the world today here in America. And what are we going to cook? I promised my uncle to cook suman, and that's what we're doing today to our Visayan friends. It's Budbud. Join me and let's wilt this lanatin, as we would call it in Ilocano. I don't know the Tagalog word. Let's wilt it on the stove inside. The rice, after washing, needs to be soaked for at least 1 hour. That's why it's good to do this first while we do the wilting. Wash the rice twice if you're not sure of the source. More than twice. After washing, we'll just have to set this aside for an hour. We have a microwave to accelerate it, but this time, let's be traditional. Let's just wait for an hour. Meanwhile, we can mix the coconut milk and salt. By the way, we only need 1.5 teaspoon of salt and 1 can of coconut milk, or 1 coconut, freshly squeezed coconut, if you have access to fresh coconut. If you have, you're lucky. If you don't have and you prefer this, you have convenience. While waiting for our sweet rice to soak, we can prepare the coconut milk and the salt solution. As if it's a difficult task, just mix them together and that's it. You don't have to do this beforehand. You can even mix this together with the rice once you begin to cook it. Yeah, I just have to kill time. That's roughly 1.5 teaspoons. I think this was never seen before on YouTube, wilting banana leaves on an electric stove. I enjoyed this when I was a kid. This was a task that I shared with my mother, and we did it outdoors on an open fire. And the ingredients are very simple. 3 cups of sweet rice, or malagkit, diket in my beautiful Ilocano, 1.5 teaspoon of salt, and 1 can of milk, or 1 coconut freshly squeezed, and in this amount. And don't forget banana leaves for wrapping the suman. What's suman without wrapping? By the way, Biko is called naked suman. That's true. Suman labos in Cagayan. And these leaves I gathered from the backyard. And if you are in Europe and perhaps in America, you can also buy this in the grocery stores, also in Manila. Let's start cooking. We don't have to wait until that boils. We can put it now. And it's not bad to add more water, just a bit. This was a shared experience with my mother before. It's from her. I learned this from her, and I remember her while I prepare this. Tender memories of my mother. But she always cooked this with sugar. I think just once. Where she did it with just salt. And that's our version today, just with salt. This is the sugarless version, just a bit of salt because it's intended to be eaten with ripe mango. Ripe mango. Not from the Philippines, sorry, but from Mexico. Viva Mexico, Mia. Once it begins to boil, it has to be continuously stirred. Remember, this is glutinous rice. We have to activate the
Don't
gluten
leave it. Continue stirring.
so that it becomes chewy, nakilnet, as we put it in Ilocano. I don't have the Tagalog word for nakilnet. It's not exactly makunat, but it means chewy. It has that very appealing and smooth consistency.
Here comes the most exciting part, the wrapping.
I repeat that to be able to achieve that smooth consistency, you have to continuously stir. And now we begin the wrapping. We also have to give it some massage. This is what I'm doing here. Again, to make it nakilnet, to make it chewy. Activate the gluten content of the rice. Same, for the same reason that we need bread dough to activate the gluten content. Make it chewy. And wrap it. Don't forget to seal the ends and then roll it again. This will keep water from being or from ruining the flavor of your suman.
This reminds me of Christmas Eve when I was a kid.
Alternatively, you can also steam this, but we don't do that. We have been boiling this. So we need the suman as you wrap it. Give some a massage, like what I'm doing here. Again, to activate the gluten content, to make it more chewy. Nakilnet. What's nakilnet in your language? To the Cebuanos and the Tagalogs, what's nakilnet? Just like tikoy. Tikoy has the best, it's the best kakanin to illustrate what chewy is. We should not forget the bicos also, what's chewy. And in Thai, Amalia, what's chewy in Thai?
We just finished the last piece. It's time to bind. It's this more exciting. I love this step. We'll be using the strips, the leaf strips for binding. They're strong because they're wilted.
The ends of the leaves should be facing one another on the inside and bound for double seal.
I don't understand. They're not strong enough. It's a different variety.
Back home, we use the Bukulan variety because it has the strongest leaves. My uncle has come to the rescue. These leaf strips are not strong enough. I'm really disappointed. So we have to have another binding solution. Uncle, help me please. What do you have? Nah, thank you. He has this threads that they use for morcon. Also for culinary purposes that we use. They can be sharp and they can cut the banana leaves. So I'm using another layer of banana strips to protect the suman from being cut by the sharp thread. Well, I think I'm overly protective. It's time to boil our suman. It's suggested to put protective layers on the bottom of your caldero. For best results, completely submerge your suman with water. And onto the stove at low flame, boil for at least 2 hours. Yes, at least 2 hours to make it really chewy. To get the chewiness inside, at least 2 hours. and our suman with mango.
Our suman here, made in America, but it's true to our Filipino tradition. Join me again next time as we bring you more food from the homeland, either at our small kitchen in Holland, at the garden, or back home in the Philippines. Your Kuya and Uncle here. Until next time.
Our kakanin, our merienda, from the whole of sharing it to the world. Thank you for joining me today. Your cool uncle here. If you enjoyed watching, don't forget to subscribe, share, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified of every release Fridays for Pinoy food. And don't forget to